What's going on, YouTube? Today I want to do a comparison between the OnePlus 8 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Now, both of these devices were released in 2020 and they're both flagship devices. Now, before I go any further, please do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be notified when I drop more content. The reason why I'm asking you to hit that thumbs up, and I mean, it's up to you whether you do or not. I know it's not a hard thing to do just to hit a button, but when I do these comparison videos, and I do them for each and every one of you out there because I want you to know the difference between the device that you're getting and to try to get you, to see which one has the most value, which one, that you feel like you would rather go with over the other. But these comparison videos take a lot of time and they're very time consuming, a lot of work. It's not an easy thing just to throw together. I try to give you, as much information as I can. Now, I'm not going to cover every single detail, but I'm going to cover in this video at least 30 categories involving these two devices. And at the end of the day, you decide which one you'd rather go with. Of course, most people in the United States love Samsung devices and Apple devices, and of course OnePlus has their hardcore fans that's out there as well. But I want to say off on the record right now, you can't go wrong with either one of these devices. Both these devices are great devices, so I highly recommend both of these devices, and they're great in their own right, as you will see. All right, so let's get started. First, let's take a look at the design. So when it comes to the design, I like the design of both these devices. Especially, I love the color. I love the bronze with the Note 20 Ultra, and I love this glacial green with the OnePlus 8 Pro. But overall, when it comes to design, I like the design of the Note because I love the color and I love that camera setup and how, the color of the phone matches the color of the camera rings. I love that. Now, OnePlus is not bad. Don't get me wrong. I like this design as well. But when it comes to design, of course, this is always going to be subjective. It's up to you. Now, I do like the cameras being centered as opposed to the left. But just overall, just based on the design, I like the design of the Note 20 over the OnePlus 8. And especially the boxy shape of the Note 20 Ultra. I love that boxy shape. Okay, so when it comes to design, I gotta go with the Note 20 Ultra. Next, let's talk about build quality. Now, both of these phones have excellent build quality. They both have a frosted back, so if you're the type of person that don't like cases, you won't have to use cases on either one of these phones. I suggest you use a case because you can still drop your phone and damage it. And the OnePlus can be a little slippery. I can't use this phone without a case because it'll fall out of my hands. Note 20 Ultra, it's not as slippery, but still, I tend to navigate phones better with a case, especially these clear cases, because they give me an extra layer of grip and thickness. And I love a phone that has some thickness and some grip. Now, neither one of these phones are really thick, but when you put a case on, it adds a little more thickness to it, and I like that. And also it adds some good grip to it. So when it comes to build quality, the OnePlus 8 Pro has Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back with an aluminum frame. The Note 20 Ultra has Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and the back with an aluminum frame. Now, of course, Samsung has the stronger Gorilla Glass because it's not the newest on the market. Gorilla Glass Victus Plus is the latest, but I have 0 scratches on the screen. I have no damage whatsoever to this phone because, and keep in mind, I don't drop my phone. I really don't. And if I do, I always have a case on it, which is very rare. But if I do, that's why I'm glad I have the case on it. So I don't have to worry about damage. I don't have to worry about no scratches on my screen. But no micro scratches, no scratches at all on this display at all. Same goes with the OnePlus 8 Pro. The Gorilla Glass 5 is very resistant to scratches. I have 0 scratches, not even micro scratches, no damage to the body at all. So Gorilla Glass 5, Gorilla Glass Victus, both have great build quality. Both have great build quality. and neither one are a fingerprint magnet because they both have a frosted back. Next, let's talk about button placement. Now, with the Note 20 Ultra, you have all the buttons on the right side. Now, that's what I prefer. You got the power button right here, which is easily reachable. It's not way up here. You got the volume rockers right above it, which I think is excellent placement. And the only reason why I'm saying that because I'm a right-handed person. So for those of you that's left-handed, you won't like the button placement. But most people are right-handed. So I love the button placement because the power button, first of all, is easily reachable and the volume button is right above it. I never really liked the volume button being on the left, so I'm glad that they finally made a decision to put them all on the right-hand side. Now, when it comes to the OnePlus 8 Pro, of course, excellent button placement. The power button is nice and low. Of course, you have your alert slider there right above it, but you have your volume rockers on the left. Now, what makes this kind of nice is that the volume rockers are kind of easily to get to if you want to use your right hand because they're kind of low. They're not up here. Excuse me. See, they're right here. So they're almost in line with the power button, but they're just a little bit higher. But usually they'd be way up here on certain phones, but they're right here. So for those of you that prefer the volume rockers on the left, then you want the OnePlus 8 Pro. But I prefer them being on the right-hand side. So button placement for me, I got to go with the Note 20 Ultra, and of course, that's subjective too. Next, let's talk about the always-on display. Now, to me, this is going to be interesting because OnePlus upgraded their always-on display, and in some aspects, I like it better. Now, the reason why I like OnePlus is better is because you can more easily see. Sorry, let me get this in the view. You can easily see what the notifications are because they're bigger and they're clearer. With the Samsung, even though I love Samsung, see how it's kind of blurry? You can still see that it's basically, I barely see that it's Facebook and I know that's YouTube just based on the color, but it's not as clear as that on the OnePlus. The OnePlus notifications are bigger and they're much easier to see. But when it comes to overall, of course, Samsung's is better and it's more customizable. See, you get these widgets. Also, and it's just way more customizable. Now, you can customize this, but not to the degree you can customize this. And also keep in mind the fingerprint sensor is on all the time if you choose it to be on all the time. But keep in mind the fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus 8 Pro is actually bigger too. It's definitely bigger than this of the Galaxy. See the size of it? You can see which one's bigger. This is clearly bigger. So always on display, I still got to go with the Note, but I like the notifications, how big and clear they are to see on the OnePlus 8 a little better. So, but the Note 20 Ultra's always on display is definitely more customizable. Put a picture, and they just got tons and tons of ways you could change it. Face unlock. Now, I'm not going to even get a demonstration because I don't need to. OnePlus face unlock. Now, they both have face unlock, but the face unlock on the OnePlus 8 Pro is vastly superior to that of the Note 20 Ultra. It's not even close. Not even close. This thing is 100% accurate. The Note 20 Ultra, I would say about 90%. Sometimes I'm literally looking directly at the phone with no glasses, no hat, no nothing on, and it won't even recognize my face. That never happens with this. Even there, now I tested this when I wasn't even directly looking at this phone and it turned on. Now, it ain't the most secure. Neither one of them the most secure. Don't get me wrong, but just for speed, please give me the OnePlus 8 Pro. And accuracy, speed and accuracy, I'm going with the OnePlus 8 Pro when it comes to face unlock. Next, both have a fingerprint sensor, and they're both built into the display. Now, with the Samsung, you got the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, And with the OnePlus 8 Pro, you have the optical fingerprint sensor. Which one is better? In my experience, the OnePlus 8 Pro has the better fingerprint sensor. It's 100% accurate and it's fast, as you can see. Now, I'm not saying the Samsung's slow because I'm going to show you in a minute, but I want you to notice something here at the bottom when I hit the fingerprint sensor. See that little animation? You're not getting that on the Samsung. You see that animation? You get you could change it 8 different animation, and also you're getting haptic feedback, which means you're getting a little vibration when you hit the fingerprint sensor. With the Note 20 Ultra, you're not getting no different animation. You're getting, the animation that they have on here is really not an animation in my opinion. But some people say it is an animation, but it really isn't. You barely see anything when you push that. A little semicircle, you get no vibration, no haptic feedback, and you can't change the animation. So, I'm not saying it's a bad fingerprint sensor. It's pretty decent, but I believe that this is a better overall fingerprint sensor, the OnePlus 8 Pro, because you got the different animations and you got the haptic feedback, which I love. All right, next, let's talk about the displays. Now, this is big right here because both of these have great displays. You have with the OnePlus 8 Pro a 6.7-inch Quad HD Plus Fluid AMOLED display with HDR10 Plus and a 513 pixel density. And with the Note 20 Ultra, you got a 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED display with HDR10 Plus and a 496 pixel density. Both of these have excellent displays, but in my opinion, just look at them. Now, everybody's eyes see something different, but if you really look at these really carefully, to me, without question, the OnePlus 8 Pro has the better display. It's sharper, it's crisper, it's punchier. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love it. Now, the size of the phone, as far as how big the display is with the Samsung, I like better. That big boxy shape, and you're getting a lot of display. Because the OnePlus 8 Pro is a little more narrower. Now, for some people, they may prefer this because it's a little more one-handed friendly as opposed to the Samsung. But remember, you do have one-handed mode on the Samsung as well. But just overall, based on how these displays look, I'm telling you, for me, it's definitely the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now, that's subjective. Some of you out there may look at this and you may feel that the Note 20 has the better display. But to my eyes, clearly the OnePlus 8 Pro has the better display. It just looks better to me. Way better. Brighter, punchier, crisper, sharper. However you want to say it, this display is awesome. And keep in mind the motion graphic smoothing, which makes everything looks even better. Far as like when you're watching media content, it looks like the people on the screen. It looks like okay, I'll say it. It looks like cinematic mode, like on the iPhone, the newest iPhones with that cinematic mode, like you're actually shooting a movie and you're actually there. That's how good the display is on this device. So the display for me goes to the OnePlus 8 Pro. Higher refresh rate. Both come with 120 hertz refresh rate, but the OnePlus 8 Pro has the advantage. You can use the 120 hertz refresh rate at Quad HD Plus resolution. With the Note 20 Ultra, you can only use it at Full HD resolution. So that's a big disappointment. I'm not sure why Samsung made that decision to only use this at Full HD. I don't know if they was doing it to save battery because they didn't put a bigger battery in this phone. I don't know. But if you want the highest resolution plus 120 hertz, you want the OnePlus 8 Pro. Next, let's talk about performance. No, let's talk about motion graphic smoothing. Now, I've already told you about it. Now, I'm going to have to turn the volume down because I don't want no copyright stuff going on. So let me see. I can put something on that you could see what I mean. Now I don't know if you can tell, but it says it's a get ready to start. Do you see like how if you I hope you can tell how this looks, how clear it is, how sharp it is, how they almost look like they're coming out of the screen. Like it's just phenomenal. I mean, it really gives you a more enjoyable media experience with this display, and Samsung do not have this. So when it comes to display overall, like I said, it's definitely the OnePlus. It just makes everything look so real, and Samsung does not have that on this particular device. Next, let's talk about performance and chipset. Now, both of these devices are running Android 12, and you have the Snapdragon 865 on the OnePlus 8 Pro. You have the Snapdragon 865 Plus on the Note 20 Ultra. Now, is there a difference between the 865 and 865 Plus? Not in my experience. They both run pretty much the same as far as speed. Now, the OnePlus seems like it runs a little bit faster than that of the Note 20 Ultra, but definitely smoother. If you want us with smoother animations, smoother performance, and even though they both have 120 hertz, in my opinion, the OnePlus 8 Pro is a little bit faster and smoother when you're going through the UI, and all your animations just looks better. Now, of course, this is no slouch. The Note 20 Ultra does have great performance, and you have the 120 hertz, so when you're scrolling, everything is smooth. But everything is smooth on this thing. Everything. So when it comes to performance and chipset, both are great. No issues with performance and chipset on either. But for me, the OnePlus is a little faster and a little smoother. Next, let's talk about operating systems. So with the OnePlus, you have Oxygen OS 12. And with the Note 20 Ultra, you have One UI 4.1. And when it comes to operating systems, that's subjective as well. So it's really up to you which one, you think is better as far as which UI you prefer. Now I'm going to put this up so you can see it, and I'll put this one up so you can see it. So you can see they're both a little different. This is a little bit bigger, a little colored. All of these are just blue, but they're both good. I think you can make these a little bit bigger. I have this so big because I'm blind. Not really blind, but my eyes ain't what they used to be. So just to have, this to be a little bit bigger to see, I'll just like it a little bit better. And the thing about the UIs is that Samsung's UI is way more customizable than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro, and it also has way more features than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. So if you're the kind of person that you want a phone that's packed with tons and tons of features, then you definitely want the Note 20 Ultra. So as far as customization, because you got good lock and you got all these other ways you can customize this device, you want the Note 20 Ultra. And if you want the most features, you want the Note 20 Ultra. But if you're somebody that's a little more simplistic, you like a little more closer to stock Android experience, then you want to check out the OnePlus 8 Pro. Next, let's talk about software support. Both of these are going to receive Android 13. Now, you're going to get Android 13 on your Note 20 Ultra before you get it on the 8 Pro, because for some reason OnePlus is super slow with their software updates, but you will get Android 13 on both devices and 2 more years of security patches on both these devices. Next, let's talk about expandable storage. Of course, we all know OnePlus 8 Pro has no expandable storage. OnePlus has never had expandable storage on any of their flagship devices. They just haven't. I did have the Nord. I forgot what model, but that actually had expandable storage, and that was a budget device. So I'm not understanding why they could put expandable storage on a budget device, but not on a device that costs over $1,000. I don't get it. But with the Note 20 Ultra, of course, expandable storage up to 1 terabyte. So when it comes down to storage, expandable storage, you want to go with the Note 20 Ultra if you're the type of person like me that needs expandable storage capabilities. I need it. Next, let's talk about battery life. This is not even close. Both have the same, pretty much the same size battery, 4,510 milliamp battery with the 8 Pro, and a 4,500 milliamp hour battery with the Note 20 Ultra. When it comes to overall battery life, the OnePlus 8 Pro destroys the Note 20 Ultra. Better standby time, better overall. I can get between a day and a half to 2 days with moderate to heavy usage on the OnePlus 8 Pro. With the Note 20 Ultra, I'm getting a day. That's it. Now, everybody uses their phone differently. I know for me, I'm using this phone really, really heavy, but 100% brightness on both. I'm using both these phones exactly the same way, but the battery life is just so much better on the OnePlus 8 Pro. So much better. And I use them both exactly the same, and both are 5G capable. So I'm using them exactly the same, but the battery life on the OnePlus destroys the battery life of the Note 20 Ultra. Next, let's talk about battery charging speeds. So with the OnePlus 8 Pro, you got 30-watt warp charging. And with the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, you're getting 25-watt super fast charging. Now, there ain't nothing super fast about 25-watt charging, but this phone does charge pretty quickly. And, of course, you have the 30-watt warp charging. Now, for some odd reason, it's weird, but the Note 20 Ultra actually charges faster at 25 watts than the OnePlus 8 Pro at 30 watts. I don't know how that is, but this just charges faster. So I don't know. I don't get it, but it just does. So I got to give the heads up to the Note 20 Ultra. Next, let's talk about wireless charging. Both of these have wireless charging. With the OnePlus, you got 30-watt wireless charging, but with the Note 20 Ultra, you got 15-watt fast wireless charging. So you're clearly getting faster wireless charging out of the OnePlus 8 Pro. You can charge your phone in I believe, about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes wirelessly with this phone. 2 hours and 42 minutes with the Note 20 Ultra. So when it comes to wireless charging, OnePlus definitely kills the Galaxy. Next, let's talk about reverse wireless charging. So both have reverse wireless charging, otherwise known as power share. But with the OnePlus 8 Pro, you're getting 3-watt reverse wireless charging. And with the Samsung, you're getting 4.5-watt reverse wireless charging. So both of these are pretty meh when it comes to reverse wireless charging. But the Note 20 Ultra does have a higher wattage at 4.5 watts as opposed to 3 watts. Next, let's talk about dual stereo speakers. Now, both of these has dual stereo speakers tuned. This is tuned by AKG with Dolby Atmos, and this is with the OnePlus 8 Pro is dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. Clearly, the Note 20 Ultra has better overall sound and speakers. They're louder, and they have better overall quality than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. But the OnePlus 8 Pro speakers does sound pretty good. But the Note 20 Ultra speakers are better. Next, let's talk about audio. Neither one has a headphone jack, but when you stick a pair of headphones in the USB Type-C port, you're going to get great audio out of both these devices. I know I have, and they sound great. So when it comes to audio, they pretty much even when it comes to audio. Next, let's talk about RAM. Both comes with 12 gigs of RAM. Now, there is a different variant of the OnePlus 8 Pro, the base model, which comes with 8 gigs of RAM, but this is the 12 gig RAM variant. But with the Note 20 Ultra, it starts at 12 gigs of RAM. So it's up to you whether you want to do 12 gigs of RAM or 8 gigs of RAM. But when it comes to RAM management, both are great. Next, let's talk about internal storage. The OnePlus 8 Pro comes with 256 gigs of internal storage, and the Note 20 Ultra comes with 128 gigs of internal storage. Now, keep in mind, the base variant for this device is 128 gigs as well. I just bought the 256 variant because I need the storage, because this doesn't have an expandable storage. And there's a 256 gig variant of the Note 20 Ultra. However, that's with the Exynos variant, and they do have a 512 gig variant of this phone. So you have 3 different variants of the Note 20 Ultra and only 2 of the OnePlus 8 Pro. Next, let's talk about IP68 water and dust resistance. Both are IP68 water and dust resistance, so you don't have to worry about water damage or dust damage to your device. Next, both have one-handed mode. Now, they do it differently. You swipe down on this, it brings the screen down lower. And with the Samsung, when you swipe down, it brings down the whole entire screen, but it just makes you still get the whole, you still have access to your whole display. It just makes it smaller, as opposed to the OnePlus that only brings the screen down lower. And this you can move, you can move it side to side, depending on if you're a lefty or you're a righty. And you press in the dark area, it goes back big. So I like one-handed mode better on the Note 20 Ultra than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. Next, let's talk about secure folders. Both have secure folder, and I like that. So when you go in here, go to private, fingerprint sensor, images, videos, audio, documents, and other files. Now this is something new. It's called Private Safe that they put on here, and I like it. But for some reason, when I was putting some videos on here the other day, I couldn't store all my videos inside Private Safe, so I decided not to store any of them in there. I don't know why that was, but I just wasn't able to. So I didn't use it at all. With the Samsung, of course, it's called Secure Folder. You can use a pen. Now, let me see. I put my pen in because I hadn't used it. And it's set up like this. See, you got your calendar. Your camera's already in here. So if you want to take clandestine photos or something, you know, that you want to be secure, all you do is press the camera, and you could take your pictures and videos with the camera, and then when you stop and come out of secure folder, it's already secured, so you don't have to worry about securing them. They're already going to be secured. Of course, you can put all your photos in here. You can also safely guard your internet, of course, your files, and your Samsung Notes and all your contacts. You could put in secure folder. So both have secure folder, and both you can either use a password or a PIN or your fingerprint sensor. So I like that. Next, let's talk about MST. Now that is magnetic secure transmission. That has to do with mobile payments. The Note 20 Ultra does have MST because you can go to any older credit card terminal or debit terminal and you can use this phone. The OnePlus 8 Pro does not have MST at all. It does have NFC. Both have NFC, but no MST. So you'd have to only use this at a, what you call it, a terminal that has the NFC tag on it. And of course, you can use Google Pay. It doesn't have OnePlus Pay that I know of, but you do have Google Pay. Next, let's talk about features. Now, I'm not going to get into all the features because both of these phones have a good amount of features, but Samsung, when it comes to features, is absolutely obliterating the OnePlus 8 Pro when it comes to features. Now, both have really nice features. Now, this one, the 8 Pro, has a feature that I really like that I just discovered a couple of days ago, is when you hit that fingerprint sensor, hold it, and it brings up whatever apps you want, and you just slide it over, and it automatically open that app. I love that. I wish Samsung would build something like that into their fingerprint sensor. It's called Quick Launch, and I absolutely love that. But Samsung, when it comes to just overall features, it has the most features, hands down. Next, the alert slider. Now, the alert slider only comes on the OnePlus. When I'm comparing these two, you could put it on vibrate, you could put it on regular, or you could put it on silent. You know, now I never use the alert slider only because my phones stay on silent all the time. I mean, not silent, on vibrate all the time because I get so many notifications, and I will get annoyed by constantly hearing notifications go off all the time. I would get really, really annoyed. So I don't really mess with the alert slider on here. I know some people do, but I just leave it on vibrate. Of course, the Note 20 Ultra does not have that. So you have to go up into the settings and literally put the phone on vibrate, silent, or either where you can hear your notifications. Next, let's talk about Samsung DeX. Now, of course, everybody know OnePlus does not have Samsung DeX. With this phone, you can basically give yourself a laptop experience from your phone onto your television, your computer, or some kind of smart board. So Samsung DeX is cool. It's a lot of fun. It's something you can definitely enjoy because you can use Samsung DeX and still use your phone like you would normally use it. Be on Instagram and you just can't watch videos. If you're watching videos on Dex, you can't watch videos on your phone at the same time. You can't do both. But say if I was watching something on using Dex on make a phone call, I could do it. Won't be a problem. It doesn't disturb anything as far as the Dex is concerned. So I love Samsung Dex, and that's what you have on the Note 20 Ultra. And of course, you got the S Pen. So that's something the OnePlus don't have, never had. You got a Bluetooth S Pen where you can use it to navigate the phone, screen off memo, sign documents, take pictures, control your media. You could just, translate. You could just do so many things, with the S Pen, draw. It's just so many things. And, I love the S Pen. This is always, my main SIM card never comes out of a Note device, never. Now, my secondary device can be anything, but my main device has to be a Note because I need that S Pen. And last but not least, you have the cameras. Now, both of these has 3 cameras on the rear, and both of these phones take great video and photos. But when it comes to just video, Samsung's video is better, it's smoother, it's steadier than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. But just overall, just picture quality, they both on the same level. Now, of course, Samsung has more shooting modes, so the camera on the Note 20 is more versatile than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. But still, both are great. But you get no 4K at 60 and no 4K at 30 on the OnePlus, on the front-facing camera. You do get it on the Note 20 Ultra. 4K at 60 on the front and the rear. And so many shooting modes, dual recording, all kind of stuff you got on the Samsung over that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. But if you're somebody like me that's just point and shoot, you ain't gonna have an issue with either one. Both take excellent photos. Check out my reviews for both of these devices and you'll see the photo and the video quality. So that wraps it up, y'all. Thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your patience because a lot goes into these comparisons, a lot to cover, and I didn't even cover everything because of so much in this video will be well over an hour. But when it comes down to just overall which phone do I prefer, I got to go with the Note 20 Ultra. The only reason why I'm saying that is because I like the bigger display, better speakers, and I prefer One UI because there are things on this device that I need. Samsung Notes, I need that. I want my S Pen. I need that, So, and the cameras are great. I love the design. And just like I said, the main thing is the One UI. I love One UI. I need that because there's things in there. I need Samsung Dex too. I need that. But when it comes to performance, this is better. The cameras are on the same, the cameras are just as good in my opinion. The display is better. The battery life is better. So you got advantages and disadvantages on both of these devices. I need expandable storage. You're not getting that on this. So, but both of these are absolutely great, phenomenal devices. I highly recommend both of them. And keep in mind, Android 13 is coming to both of these, plus 2 more years of security patches. So thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying well. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.